Till now, we have explored how to do debugging in Visual Studio 2019, and we have also learned about what are the benefits of doing debugging in Visual Studio, and we have also learned how to put breakpoints and how to use these commands like F5 or F10 or F11, and we have also seen how to put breakpoints, and we have also explored how to enable or disable all breakpoints in Visual Studio, and we have also explored how to delete all breakpoints, and we have also explored how to find all the breakpoints in your application. Okay, so our today's topics are call stack and code maps. So in our today's topic, we will explore what is call stack and what is called code maps in Visual Studio debugging. Okay, so let me show you what is call stack. Let me launch Chrome browser. We will search here call stack in Visual Studio. Okay, so this is the first link, docs.microsoft.com. Okay, this is the documentation provided by Microsoft for the call stack. Let me click on this link. Now let's read this. What is saying is saying by using the call stack window, you can view the function or procedure calls that are currently on the stack. Okay, and further it's saying the call stack window shows the order in which methods and functions are getting called. Okay, and further it's saying call stack is a good way to examine and understand the execution flow of your app. Okay, so let me elaborate what's saying. Let's suppose in your application, this is your main method. From your main method, you're calling one method, method one. Okay, and from your method one, you're calling method two, and from your method two, you're calling method three. Okay, so on till now method n. Okay, if you are having a small application of you can say one, two or three methods or functions, then it's very easy to see that all the methods, right, and how it's executing. If you are working in some company or enterprise company, they have a large project, and in that you have thousands of files, and your code switch between these files, right? Your control, you will start from one file, and it will just go through all the different files. In that case, it's very difficult to manage and see your control starts from which file and is currently in which file. Okay, so if you want to see this call hierarchy, your application starts from main method, right? From main method, it's calling which method, and from that method, we are calling which method. Okay, like I just write one example here. From main method, we are calling method one, and from method one code, we are calling method two, and from method two code, we are calling method three. Now this is a call hierarchy in your application. Okay, now if you have to see your call hierarchy in your Visual Studio, okay, like what is the tool for that? So that is called call stack. Okay, now like mentioned in this particular documentation provided by Microsoft, is saying you can view the function and procedure calls that are currently on the stack. Okay, and it shows the order in which methods and functions are getting called. Okay, so let me show you practically how to use call stack to do debugging in Visual Studio. Okay, and how to understand the execution flow of your app. Okay, so let me launch Visual Studio. I'm having Visual Studio 2019. So it is the latest version provided by Microsoft. Okay, so I am having one console application here that is just empty console application right now. I am having one program.cs file that is the default file, and main method is empty right now. Okay, to understand the call hierarchy, let me create a few more files. I will create one new file add new item, and class, we will just keep the same name, class1.cs. Click on add. Okay, let me add few more files. Add new item, click on class, we will just keep the same name, class2.cs. add. Okay, so let me add one more file. Add new item, class3.cs. okay, now we are having 4 C# classes in our application, a program.cs file. In this file we are having main method, so this will be the entry point for our application, and we are having class 1, class 2 and class 3. okay, so in class 1 we will make this class as static. okay, and we will create one method in this class. Let me maximize the window. So in class 1 we will create one method, print data. okay, and in this we will just call object of, or you can say method of, class 2. So from program class, let me show you the hierarchy. From program class we will invoke method of class 1, and from class 1 we will invoke method of class 2, or from class 2 we will invoke method of class 3. Invoke, I mean we will call the method. okay, so program, first of all, entry point for our application is program.cs file, right? From program.cs file, from main method we will call method of class1.cs. okay, so we are having one print data method in class 1, and we will just invoke this method, class1.print data. Let me make this method as public. okay, so now we will able to call that method print data. okay, so from main method we are calling one method of class 1. Now from class 1 we will call method of class 2. Before that we need to create one method in class 2. so we will just create public static void print data method, and okay, so now from class 1 we will call this class 2 method of print data. Let me switch to class 1, class 2 dot print data. Now we will create similar method in class 3. okay, so let me make this class as static, and we will create one method here, static, let me put the public static void print data. okay, now we have to invoke this class 3 method from class 2 method. okay, class 3 dot you can call print data. Now understand the code hierarchy. So we are having one program.cs file. In this file we are having one main method. From this main method we are invoking class 1 dot print data. okay, let me write some console statement here, console dot write line inside main method. okay, now let me add console.writeLine. Last statement of main method. okay, similarly let me put console.writeLine in class 1. console.writeLine inside class 1 print data method. Similarly, we will write in class 2 inside class 2 print data method. We will write in class 3 also console dot writeLine inside class 3 print data method. Okay, now in our application, when we press F5 or control F5, it will execute our application. It will start your execution from main method, and in this main method it will print this line on console, and after that it will just call print data method of class 1. Okay, and in this print data method it will print this line number 13 on console, and after that it will call print data method of class 2. Okay, now so in class 2 print data method it will call print data method of class 3. Okay, now this is a class hierarchy. When we invoke this execution, first control will jump to program.cs file, then control will jump to class1.cs file, then control will jump to class.2.cs file, then class3.cs file. Okay, now I will show. Now we are having just 3 classes and 3 methods, but in your large projects you can have thousands of calls in your call stack, right? So if you want to see the hierarchy of execution of your methods or codes, how can you see that? Okay, so first of all, let me put breakpoints here in all the files. Okay, so let me press F5 to debug these applications. So we are not having breakpoint in program.cs file, so let me put a breakpoint here also. Okay, let me stop it. Okay, I am executing it again, and I will press F5 again. It will interrupt the execution at line number 13 of program.cs file. That is the entry point for main method. Okay, now guys, you can see here there is a call stack window. Okay, it will list all the method invocations or function invocation in your application in a sequence. Okay, if this window is not visible on your screen, you can launch it from debug menu. Click on debug menu, click on Windows option, and click on there is one call stack window. Yeah, click on this option. It will launch the call stack. Okay, now this yellow and red pointer is showing that our current control is at line number 13 of program file in the method main and line number 13. Okay, now as you execute this code and when you call this print data method, the control will jump to this print data method of class 1, and entry will be added to this call stack. Okay, let me press F5. Have a look. So right now our control is at print data method of class 1. Okay, and see the hierarchy here in call stack. Previously our control was in main class, right? Program class main method. Okay, now control is jumped to print data method of class 1. Okay, and you can see here this yellow arrow is showing that our current control is in class 1 in print data method at line number 13. Okay, now from class 1 print data method is calling class 2 dot print data method. Okay, now control will jump to print data method of class 2. Let me press F5. Have a look. Now our control is in class 2 at print data method, and you can see here there is a new entry about class 2 dot print data line number 12. Okay, now if you want to see the code or variable values uh, of the previous method, like I want to see the first method from where it's called, right? So you can just double click here. Like I want to see the main method code here, just double click here, you can see the code here. Okay, and after that I want to see the code of class 1 dot print data method, double click on this, it will just jump here. Okay, so if you want to see the code or variable values or method invocations from this hierarchy, you can just double click on any of these options. But this control, active control, will remain on the latest pointer. Okay, that is class 2 dot print data. Now in class 2 print data method, we are just printing this line inside class 2 print data method, and from this class we are calling class 3 dot print data method. Okay, let me press F10. Now have a look, there is another entry added in call stack. Okay, our first call was in main method, right? Program.cs file main method. So this program stands for program.cs file, and dot main is the method name, and from that main method we call class 1 dot print data. Okay, next entry is class 1 dot print data method, and from class 1 we have called class 2 dot print data. So this is the new entry, and from class 2 dot print data we call class 3 dot print data. So we got new entry here. Okay, now as soon as you execute this method, it will return back to class 2, and you will see that a class 3 entry will be removed from this call stack. Okay, and now in the class 2 print data method, this is the last statement of this method. Okay, once I press F10, it will move to class 1. Okay, now have a look, we are just having two entries here of program method, program class, and class 1. Now we are not having entries of class 2 and class 3 in our call stack. Okay, now if I press F10 here, it will move to the our original class, that is the first invocation class, program.cs file. And have a look, we are having only one entry here. Okay, that is main method in the program class. So this is a call stack, and if you want to see the call hierarchy, you can see using this call stack. Let me run this again, and let me show you. Let me tell you again, if you want to see the code of any method that is invoked from your call hierarchy, like I want to see the code of main method, you can just double click on this statement, it will jump here and it will show you as green area. And similarly, if I want to see the code of print data method in class 1, you can double click here, it will show you green area here. Similarly for class 2 and class 3. Okay, now I told you we will cover two features in this. There is that call stack and code maps. Okay, now this is the call hierarchy I told you in call stack. Okay, now if you want some flowchart or pictorial representation of your call hierarchy, okay, you want to see the see the call hierarchy, and if you have to share this code execution flow with someone else, you can get this code flow in a flowchart or in some PNG file or JPG file. Okay, how can you do that? So for that you need code maps. Code map is a Visual Studio feature. Okay, so you can just click on debug menu. Okay, and click on there is one option, show call stack on code map. Okay, so it will give you one pictorial representation of your call hierarchy. Okay, so if you want to change the layout, you can do that. Right now it's showing in top to bottom approach. If you want to show this layout into bottom to top, you can see that. So original method is main method. Main method is invoking print data method, and this method is invoking print data method of class 2, and this is invoking print data method of class 3. Okay, and if you want to change the layout from left to right, you can do that. It will show in this way, and yellow pointer is showing you are currently at class 3 print data method, and you can change the layout to right to left also. Okay, now the thing is, let me change the layout to top to bottom. Now let's suppose you have to share this code execution flow with someone, maybe your colleague or maybe your anyone from your team. Okay, you can just click on this share button and click on copy image. Okay, now you can launch Paint and you can paste this image here. Okay, so you got this image here. Okay, so this is just like a flow chart in flow chart representation of your code flow. Okay, this is called code maps in Visual Studio. The file extension for this particular thing is DZML. Now let me tell you again how to generate code maps. Just click on debug menu and click on this option, show call stack on code map. Okay, this option is only available on Visual Studio Enterprise. Okay, I'm not sure about the Community Edition, but I'm using Enterprise Edition. Enterprise edition of Visual Studio. Okay, so this option is available here. Okay, you can try this thing on Community Edition, but I'm not sure whether it's available or not. Okay, and if we are using Enterprise Edition, and if this option is still not visible to you, you have to install one component for that. Okay, let me tell you how to install this sport in Visual Studio to generate code maps. Just click on Tools option. Click on Tools option, click on Get Tools and Features. It will launch Visual Studio Installer. So click on Individual Components and scroll down till Code Tools. Okay, if you are not getting code map option in your Visual Studio, you need to install this code map option. Okay, right now I am having this code map functionality in my Visual Studio. Okay, so if you are not getting this option, so UI will be like this one. Okay, so you need to enable this code map and DZML editor. Okay, once you select code map, it will automatically select DZML editor. Okay, so you need to select this option. You have to install this component. Select this option and click on install. So you need to click on modify. Okay, so I'm already having code map and DZML editor in my Visual Studio. That's why it's not showing modify button here. Okay, so you need to select code map and DZML editor options in this window, and after that you need to click on modify button. After that it will install code map functionality in your Visual Studio, and you can generate code map in your Visual Studio. Okay, so this is just a basic idea about call stack and code maps. You can try this thing, and if you have any questions, please let me know.